Good evening. Friends, we can sense that there is some great unease, and that is why Xi Jinping is acting so authoritarian, so centralizing. He knows something about China that's making him uneasy. Perhaps we don't know about that. You don't need that kind of centralization and control unless you are deeply worried about. Some people say that Xi Jinping is trying to discipline Chinese people so that they can go into competition and can compete with the United States. But they are already competing. They are going at par in terms of economy very rapidly with the United States of America. So that is not the point. There is something else. And it looks to me that Xi Jinping doesn't trust his own people, doesn't trust his surrounding, doesn't even trust the Chinese Communist Party, doesn't even trust the People's Liberation Army, and above all, doesn't even trust the system itself. And that's what making him deeply worried. So for what he could be worried about? I think he's worried about the collapse of China, like the collapse of the USSR. We all saw how USSR crumbled under its own weight. And Chinese leadership, right from Deng Xiaoping to Hu Jintao to even Xi Jinping, they have been constantly saying that we are not going to become the USSR. But I can sense his worries. And that's what we know. We need to understand. We need to understand China. We need to study China so that we can take out the points. We can understand what are the problems over there, which is making Xi Jinping so worried, which is making him turning him into almost a demon that he's trying to control everything. You don't do it unless and until you are that much, very much worried, and he is very much worried. One thing is that I think since China has expanded her borders unnaturally, Tibet is almost the one third size of India, but Tibet is not China. It was never China. Xinjiang is a huge territory which is not China. Manchuria is basically Korea. They have occupied it. They have also occupied a huge part of great part of Mongolia. Those people doesn't accept China. You can control those people with bullet and the butt of rifle, but you can't win their loyalty. I think that's making him worried, and he thinks that as soon as the controls will go down, these people will try to break away from China. That's what making him worried. Plus, there could be a different reason as well. We saw even after Tiananmen Square, China doesn't crumble. It's survived. And why it survived? Because it was doing fantastic in terms of economy. For more than a decade, they were having a GDP growth in positive of in two figures. More than 10% they were having positive GDP growth. So the people of China were getting money. But now the condition is that though China's GDP is in positive, but China is stuck in the middle income group countries. And why it is stuck in that strata? There are two reasons behind that. One is it's a export driven economy. They are manufacturing things and they are exporting to the whole world. So they don't make that much profit. It's not a high tech driven economy, because in a high tech driven economy the percentage of profit is huge. But this is not the case in manufacturing economy. Another thing is that due to that policy of one child policy by the Chinese Communist Party, they have lost the demographic dividend, and now China is aging. So just try to understand that thing. Your income is not increasing, but your population is aging rapidly. You are not having young people to produce cheap stuff which you can export and get money. So you are stuck. And if you want to come out of that trap of middle income country, you need high tech products so that it can value add and with the products which you export. Now, United States and other countries are trying to restrict China's rise in that strata by uh, causing hurdle or even not giving them, not providing them semiconductors, because today anything and everything which is high tech requires high tech semiconductors which China is unable to produce. Only three or four countries produces. Taiwan produces it, United States produces it, Canada produces it, Israel produces it, and these countries are not going to give to China. So these two problems are making Xi Jinping worried, and there is some volcano among the Chinese people. Definitely, a huge volcano is there, which may erupt anytime in Tibet. It may erupt there in Xinjiang. It may erupt in Near Mongolia. It may even erupt in Manchuria. Plus, the Han Chinese population, which are basically loyal to the Chinese Communist Party to a larger extent compared to other minorities and other races in the People's Republic of China. They are also now stuck in the middle income country group, so their incomes are not rising. I think this is the main reason which is taking off sleeps of night sleeps of Xi Jinping and making him worried, and due to which he is turning himself into a demon, a centralizing figure, an authoritarian dictator. So we must know more about China. We should try to do as much as research as possible so that we can use it against China, because China is against all the democratic countries. China is against the human world. So we need to study, we need to have more knowledge about China. Thank you so much.